Hey everyone, this is Byron. Today is March the 23rd, 2018, and I'm here to testify for Jesus Christ. I'm going to go over some scenes that I saw last night in my dreams. I had what appeared to be three. Um, I think they all were related. I'm going to go over the dreams very quickly and then go over what I believe or the understanding that I may have on them. In the first dream, I was at a basketball gymnasium. I was walking out the door of the gymnasium, and there was two other guys there as well. And I noticed that they didn't want to sweep the floor. Um, there was debris in the floor, dust in the floor. Sometimes the gym can get sticky things on the floor. But if you've ever been on a gymnasium, if it's not swept, your shoes become very slippery. You don't have the ability to move like you should. So it needs to be swept. But these two didn't consider it important, or maybe didn't know how important it was, because they just walked right over trash as if, well, this is just life. Okay, that's the first one. In the second one, I was putting the little flex cuffs, the wire ties, not the wire ties, but the wire ties, the little plastic flex cuffs that you can put on people. I was putting on those on two people, and one of the people that I remember specifically, um, he's a guy from my past who grew up, and by the time that I met him, he was pretty much of the criminal mentality. And I'm not saying a hard beat criminal, but someone who has that idea that the world's against me. Um, I got to get everything that I can on my own. And I got to work hard for it, such as stealing and swindling and cheating and lying and things like that. I was trying to get a set of cuffs on him. He was in a jail. I was trying to get flex cuff on him in the jail to try to transport him to what I consider to be a better place. Then finally, there was another dream of it was as if there was a jury box that each row was a little higher, but this was more deep, maybe 6, 7 rows high. All the people sitting in it were criminal. They for whatever reason, I don't know what they were criminals of, but they were. And I was going to get people out of there and take them to. I thought it was a better place for them. And I don't know why, but as I did so, instead of just walking up the stairs and getting to the row the person was on, I would jump over the seats, escalating up higher and higher. I'm a big guy to be jumping over seats like that, so it's definitely a dream. Um, but then I came to this one spot, and suddenly when I looked, instead of there being men, grown men there were children. And there was this young child there, and he was trying to give me a little small cucumber, real tiny. And then could have cared less about the cucumber. But I looked to his left. There was five. This is a white guy, a little a little white boy, sitting there trying to give me the cucumber. And then there was five young black guys to his left, my right, as I looked. And I said, well, maybe some of these guys would want it. And he offered it to the one beside him, and the one beside him took it. The cucumber wasn't peeled. It wasn't that awesome looking. He just took it and ate it right away. And then I woke up. So when you're considering all those, they seem independent. They may seem unknown, but there's certain things the Lord has shown me in the past that are very critical. One thing He showed me in a dream, He showed me where an alligator had wallowed out a floor, a dirt floor, so that when you walk across the floor was uneven. It was difficult for me to walk across the floor. But in the same dream that I saw that particular floor became flat, level, slick, and a gymnasium floor, and people were playing volleyball on it, all kinds of sports activities. And I saw perhaps a 60-year-old man doing backflips right in front of me. So once the floor got straight, he could do more than I expected him to do. I could say the foundations were level, and the floor was prepared correctly. And if you look at that first dream that I had, where the guys, either they didn't know they needed a floor, or they had things on the floor they didn't realize. I don't know. I just know that they were not cleaning the floor to where they could perform at their best level. I think that makes sense when you look at how, if you look at the young child who was offering me the cucumber. I'm a white guy. He was white. There was 5 black guys right beside him. His age, his size. It would have been easy for him to turn and hand it to them. But I believed, and I understood this in the dream, that that little guy had been conditioned somewhere in his past, and he wasn't that old anyway. Don't even do anything for them. Don't relate to them. Prejudice, a segregation mentality, they're not like us, whatever. And I think both things, the angles of the prisoners, the angles of the guys not taking the gym floor, not sweeping it properly, not getting the foundation correct, and then even that mentality going down into children. My mentality of prejudice, my mentality of how I believe on the world, how that permeates down into children, and then you become a person who could walk on a messed up floor the rest of your life because of things that you believed to be a true from early on. You may have believed you got to cheat and lie and steal early on. You may have believed you have to be mean to members of an opposite race early on. You may have been bullied. You can be bullied by a domineering parent. You can be bullied by someone in school. You may have made a decision somewhere along in your life based on an event that occurred in your life. And that one decision, although you may think consciously it was the right decision, or you may not even realize that you made the decision and it be more or less a subconscious decision, that is affecting how you live. And you're not on the foundation, the smooth playing field, the slick, squeaky, sticky court that you need to live this life. Now, one thing I do know in the Christian life, let me read this for you right here. It's in Romans. In Romans 3:19, the whole world becomes level and on the same playing field by this one statement. Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before God. So it's very important that you understand. You may have heard me say something about prejudice and white against black when I said that. And it may have made you feel good because maybe you're black. And it's like, yeah. But we all are on a level playing field. We're all guilty for God by the law. And we have to have something external to our ability to do good. And we have to get that playing field level. And I truly believe last night I was being shown people that are captive by not being on firm foundations, by not being I'm not talking about necessarily a foundation that is Christ, but I'm saying even within the church, there are shaky, stupid gospels man has created. And we all have to have the foundation, which is Christ, and it be level. Us being all guilty before God and saying, I have to have Christ because I'm guilty. But then when we build on that foundation, we could be in that situation, like the Lord has shown me before, where we have a level dirt floor and alligators, the enemy has come in and put bumps in it. Well, when we get that thing, if we get it leveled back out, then we begin to build on it. And when we build on that, we can build on that in such a way that we could have a court where we could do wonderful, mighty things, such as a 60-year-old man doing backflips. You know, I'm talking about gymnastic style backflips on the court. 60-year-old man that I knew him personally, and he's not supposed to be able to do that. But if we get that foundation level, understand its level and it's on Christ, and then begin to build on that, and that foundation is firm, and it brings us to a point where it frees us to do mighty things. We no longer are held back by previous things in our life, because the Spirit of the Lord can set us free, and we renew our minds, and we renew our minds correctly with the Word of God, and Christ washes us with water. It's so critical. It's so critical that we examine ourselves before God. We just examine it and we say, Lord, what did I inherit in my mind that I don't need? I want it to be gone. I don't want to have sat under a false teacher and inherited that mentality that he gave me. I want to lay it on the line and get it out of here, Lord. I want to build on you and build firmly, and so that I can do things for you, Lord. Or better yet, Lord, I can become a broken vessel, and you can build me the way I need to be built and go and do mighty things. We have to be thinking that way ourselves. And some of us have to be thinking that Jesus Christ came to set the captives free. And there's people out there that are captive by false teachers. They don't realize the Spirit of God is the way to go. They believe they still need to be out there working their little tails off. They haven't found that place of rest. Jesus Christ said, "Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I am telling you now. He was telling people, all you people that are working so hard to try to find a way outside of me, if you'll come to me, I'll give you rest. And within that rest, he can do mighty things through you. That's what I saw last night, and that's what I felt this morning, and that's it. Thank you.